Last question I have for you is because there are, no doubt, 15 years ago, a lot of other folks that were in that same mailroom or other mailrooms, other folks that you passed on your way up, but you're still here. You survived 2008. Now you're running your own agency. You are a superstar literary agent. So, are there what motivates you, and what are things you know that you've done where you zigged when you could have zagged that have set you up for success?
Oh man. Um, I think like there is like a scrappy factor that for sure comes into play. Um, it's hard to sort of point to any one turning point. I mean, I can. I'm moving out here actually really blew my business up. I think because I was not as focused on like what everybody else was up to as much as I was like just kind of doing my own thing. And it reinforced that my instincts and my way of doing things work for me. And they're not the right thing for everybody, but they work for me. And that it's okay to just be a little more self-directed about what to pursue. And I mean, that's always been the case. Like when dystopia was the hot thing in YA, I like did not do it. I just sold high fantasy instead. So like trends have never been sort of my like North Star. But yeah, I mean, moving out here was really good for me personally. And professionally, and my career sort of took off right around the time I've been out here 8 years, and that was definitely an inflection point for me. I mean, I benefited for sure from the boom in romance. I I came up at the point when YA was booming, which led to me getting a middle grade client list that has proven to be just like a marathon. Like these guys just my clients have just like put out book after book after book and built really beautiful businesses. So every block of it sort of builds on the other, and that's why I always advise younger agents to just keep a really open mind about what it is that they do and rep, and to not be afraid to diversify the kinds of books that they represent, because you never know what's going to give you the thing that takes off and suddenly you're well positioned to be at the head of a new booming industry, so maybe you do a couple nonfiction projects and you're like, yeah, that's not for me. Like when I experimented with that and learned that like I don't really like doing projects where there's a personality and a writer. Like that stresses me out. I want the person who's making the book to be the person who's making the book. A lot of people make a lot of money doing books by very famous people and matching them with the perfect writer. That's a skill set. It's just not mine. But if I hadn't tried that, I wouldn't know that. And I wouldn't have the confidence of my convictions that I could do what it is I'm good at and make a living at it. So yeah, I think it was a combination of a willingness to try a bunch of things. I also think I am really good at working with people who have a lot of different interests. The number of clients on my list where like I signed them for X and then they became really successful doing Y is significant. So I tend to go for people versus projects. And I think that has served me very well. That an interesting writer I connect with is going to be an interesting writer I connect with across a lot of categories. And that's going to give us flexibility and opportunity. And we're going to be able to be nimble, and we're going to be able to try new things, and we're going to be able to, burnout is really real for authors too. And if you start to get burned out in one category, but you can find joy writing in another, then that's a way to keep people in the conversation. So yeah, I mean, those are kind of just some loose ideas. But does that answer the question?
It absolutely answers the question. Holly, what a wonderful conversation we've had today. I am thrilled to have this as a part of the Middle Grade Ninja Show. This is an episode I know I'm going to come back and re-listen to. And I'd probably say to myself, Rob, why didn't you ask her this? So maybe we'll have to do it again when I've come up with enough questions that we missed. Thank you so much for making the time and for being here today. Where can an esteemed audience find you online?
So I am on Twitter at hroot. Our website is rootliterary.com, and we are on Instagram at rootliterary.
And I, of course, am at middlegradeninja.com. If you like the show, make sure you like, subscribe, leave a review, download your free copy of Banneker Bones and the Giant Robot Bees.